right. Hello, everyone. My name is Cooper Cords.
Here with Mason Cofer, and we are very lucky. We are here today with Mr. Al Barbarino.
We just wanted to ask you a couple questions about your decorated life. First off, we want to start off with like your early life and your background. Just like broadly, was there any teachers or mentors who kind of had a major impact on your life from the start?
Okay, very good question, and everything comes from our roots, and our roots are, starting our lives in Brooklyn, Williamsburg, Brooklyn. I guess you want to know a little bit about my brother Santo, Dr. B. Besides, we both attended Catholic school, All Saints at the time, and with very good, solid training and desire to learn. And it's very funny, at that time, class sizes were about, we had like 40, 50 kids in a class, as opposed to these days where you have like the 20 mark perhaps.
Yeah.
And, but we were very, very fortunate in attending a private school, Catholic school. So that was our training. And singing music was always a very, very big part of the family. Almost like the Von Trapp family, for the sound of music.
Yes.
But and Santa was always a great entertainer of a singer as a child, But we all sang together, and that was a good thing. And that was it. I mean, there was so much family stuff besides. I think our entire family lived within a radius of 5 blocks. Cousins, aunts, uncles. That's just the way it was yesteryear. Now you have family members out of state, and it's just to get family together, it's kind of difficult. But we were very fortunate and blessed in that respect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. When did you discover your love for like music? Was it immediately right away, or was it someone kind of leading you down that path, like in your family, a specific person?
Well, it's a good question. We music was always very key in our family. My father played a guitar, mandolin. My mom sang with her sisters, my aunts, and just casual singing, nothing professional in that nature. But fortunately, the singing that we were involved with, you really would not know, but we were in a rock group, and it was called Donnie and the Delcords way back. But we did all those shows, like the Brooklyn Fox, Murray the Cave. You probably didn't know who I'm talking about. Cousin Brucey. But these were all hot shows, with Paul Anka, the Ronettes.
Yes.
Who was the other guy? Paul Anka, Tony Orlando, Peggy March, a lot of people that you do not know.
A lot of connections.
but it was hot at that time, and we traveled all over the place, so that was a great thing.
Awesome. That's great.
And then I have a question, just in general. If you were to go back and change anything, would you have stuck in the entertainment business?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. It was always very exciting because you're in a situation. I mean, there's a lot of sacrifice involved as well, but when you're on, the excitement is that you're in a very positive setting, and people appreciate it because we also had, speaking of music, besides that, as we got older, involved with having our own band, wedding band. So we played for many, many weddings, and on that score, sometimes we would be playing like 4 or 5 gigs a weekend.
Yeah.
Like a Friday night, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and then Monday morning be back in school teaching.
I know.
That's awesome.
It's amazing.
So that's fantastic.
It's a great life.
That was a good, It was very, very busy. And I'm going to say something that's very, very powerful. You want something done, give it to a busy person. We were constantly going, and simultaneously going for our graduates and post-grad studies. I mean, there was a segment of time where my brother and I were doing our post-grad studies over at St. John's, and we had 18 credits that we were doing, and they were overlapping. We have one more week to go here, but this session started at the other class. but we did it. You want to do something, you do it. You just have to be determined in
Absolutely.
the process.
Yeah,
which
that's
is great.
amazing.
Said it better.
Yeah. So what we saw was that you kind of connected your music to your faith in a way. So can you talk about that?
Oh, that'll take a few hours, actually.
We're here for it.
Okay. Actually, as kids, as young as 9 and 10-year-olds, both my brother and I sang in the choir at our parish where we went to Catholic school, All Saints, and we learned so much of the music, like the 4 parts. We sang tenor, of course, and I mean a young boy's voice, and I've always sung in church, and Santo did, but not to the same extent as I do. And I'm still doing it, actually.
That's
And
incredible.
actually, it really is. And part of the music, very, very big part of the music, actually, I'm a lay Franciscan, and I help the Franciscan friars. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I help the Franciscan friars who have the shelters all over the place. Money that I raise from the recordings that I've made, USBs, CDs. Doing this 35 years, man. I can't even believe it. Twice your age. And that, only through the grace of God, when I say this, I've sung around the globe, as far as Australia, New Zealand, Philippines, Europe many times, Canada many times.
What an
Of
opportunity.
course. Yeah, it really is. And the monies that I've raised in the process, I only but through the grace of God. The joke is that I don't know anything about music. I don't know what key I sing in. I don't read or write music. Santo did.
Yes.
My brother did. But only but through the grace of God. And I always say, people, he always uses the least of his servants to do the work, So that part is very exciting. And I'm still doing it.
Yeah,
That's good.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it really
And
is.
I assume you love it just as much as you do.
Love it, yeah. That's me, yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
really great.
fantastic.
So cool.
All right, so I was talking just before to Barry Weiner, who's the chorus teacher here at the high school.
Oh, yeah.
And he was telling me that he loves you, and
I
he
love
really
him
was.
and what he does,
yeah,
God.
absolutely.
Okay, all the music people here, really
They're amazing.
talented.
It's a very well run program. And he was
yeah,
talking to me about you, and I was at the music dinner when you gave out one of the scholarships.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when I first heard about you. And I mean, I knew the story of your brother and all that.
Okay.
But can you kind of talk about those scholarships and what they mean to you, and like who you give them out to and why you do?
Oh, okay, great. I get each of this is now 13 years. He passed on this in August will be 14 years. Santa was unique, and we would say everybody has their uniqueness. I shouldn't say that, but he was so dedicated to the school, and I would always say that that's your wife and your kids, because he gave so much of his very being, and loved it. And he taught in Catholic school as well. I taught in Catholic school, then I taught public school, and he always looked upon Lynbrook. He says that's like another segment of private school education, and he put his heart and soul into it because that's who he was. And as far as the scholarships go, because we try to maintain and keep on with his legacy to the values and his morality and his determination and his integrity and responsibilities. And he was like so into everything and anything pertaining to the school. That's why he would always be in attendance at all the events, musical events. In fact, many times when there would be the plays going on, he would go in while they're rehearsing and stuff like that. He just loved it. And so do I. I mean, that's who we are. But trying to keep his name still totally alive, we started way back the year after he passed to have a golf outing that we raised money and for the scholarships. keeping his name alive, like with the academia, with the varsity, with the arts. There's so many segments of notoriety of one that could shine their stuff, so to speak. And to keep him, because that's who he was, very involved with the basketball, the football, track. I think he was a track coach too at one time. He was. And so all different segments. And so to satisfy each of those areas and keeping his legacy alive, that's why we give those scholarships out. And it's good, I always feel whenever each year for the past 13 years saying this, I'm not going to say for those of you who have heard me before, you want to hear me say the same thing because I'm speaking about the same person. But Santo's gist in life was, and mine as well, God comes first in everything you do. Then comes your family, then comes community. And the reason why we say that is because that's the way it is. It really should be. I've worked in the city schools and I worked in the New York City prisons for youth. And so many times there's a lack of godliness. And I'm not trying to sound like a preacher here, by no means. But in my years of involvement with education and counseling and so on, I always have seen when there's a sense of godliness and, like some of the actors and like Mark Wahlberg, Denzel Washington, they're strong proponents of this too. I'm not saying you have to walk around with a halo around your head. By no means, I don't either. But just to have that sense, it makes such a difference. And you know something? Like in my years involved with the prisons, the youth facilities in the city, it was so obvious where there was that lack of godliness in a person's life. So we just keep going. Best way we can do to help all these situations. Yeah. But the scholarship just keeps Santo's name alive. And we have to think of ways of now raising money for it, but it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's definitely awesome. I can relate to that because my father unfortunately passed away, and we do a memorial scholarship at the athletic dinner in his name. So it's very much a similar thing.
You can relate to it, definitely.
Yes, but I agree. It's really a great way to keep their name going, and it's definitely awesome.
Just gave me chills.
I know,
that.
but
really
not to bring it up, but just to relate to it in that way. I applaud you for keeping it going, and it's definitely awesome.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Relationship that you said is very important to carry with God around. I just want to dive deeper into more with Santo. You said he was super involved in everything he did, which is absolutely unbelievable, and it's rubbed off on you and the rest of your family members. How did that look like growing up with him finding his interests according to you finding your interest? How did that work with him rubbing off his energy onto you and your energy on everyone else?
On all various aspects of our lives, we were always like this. We were almost like twins, Everything he did, I did. Everything I did, he did. We're always together, playing baseball. At that time, baseball was a thing, especially where I lived. We played stickball in the street, nothing to the level of sports these days. But we fed off on each other because of our music, our love for music. We did all harmonies together, and he was very far more advanced musically speaking. Hearing stuff, but we all had that natural harmony, and that we attribute from being in the choir at 9-10 years old, and but we supported each other. It was just a given thing with everything and anything we did.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It seems like such a great relationship.
Oh yeah, and it just continued on, like in our entire life.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it is, because sometimes like you could have siblings that they're like this, but it was a great thing.
I know your brother had a million qualities that are amazing about him, but if you had to pick one that really stood out to you and shaped your life the most, what would it be?
He's very straightforward. You know, some people, like there's a sort of a deception, like they'll not be their normal self, and they'll throw a facade. That wasn't him. He was
That's who he was.
straightforward. Yeah, that's who he was. And but that's the way we were raised too. Like I'll tell you one thing. My dad, who had a second grade education from Sicily, he was filled with wisdom. And my brother, like Santo, and I always recognized that, as well as my sister. My sister's older than we. And my father would say, always stay with people better than you. As a kid, I really didn't understand that. I'm saying, like, I'm going to find people better than me. I really don't know if they're better than me. But you learn things as you grow and you mature, things that you really may not understand as a child. But as you keep growing, you see the clarity of all that. It's amazing. It really is amazing. And that's who we are. But quality, Santo, I always admired his ability to, like whenever I would be recording a new album, a new CD, he would always write songs for me. I mean, he knew a lot of stuff about the Bible, like historically about the Bible. And even what he did every year to write a graduation song for that particular class, pertaining to their experiences that year, I thought that's off the charts. That's not easy to do by no means. But he did it. He had that ability.
Yeah.
I admired that one.
Yes, that's awesome. Go ahead.
Now, Mr. Barbarino, I have to
You
say,
could call me out. Don't worry about it.
I have to say, you saying that just gave me chills. My father says the exact same thing. If you want to get better in anything in life, you must surround yourself with people that are better than you. That's how you learn.
That's why I hang out with Benny.
Yeah,
Really
that's
good.
definitely
And
But
true.
I couldn't agree more. And
Yeah.
really, it's something so powerful and something so overlooked. If you want to get better at anything in life,
Yeah.
you must surround yourself with people that are better than you.
Yeah, I know. And if I could add this,
Absolutely.
when we were younger, we did not have all the additives that you guys have now. I mean, the phone, the social media. I mean, when I was a child, we were not allowed to go to 42nd Street or Times Square because, that's so crazy. And it really was. But now, today, you don't have to go anywhere. You just put something in your hand, and you're off the charts with things that are available. And through social media, I mean, everything has its good points, and then there's the real bad points. But we never had an opportunity to be exposed to the things that are out there these days. So it sort of couples with staying with people that are better than you, because you could only learn from them. You cannot from people that are less than you.
A ton of new influences with today's technology.
Amen.
It's a
Absolutely.
computer in your pocket.
Amen.
absolutely.
My son, who is very involved with computers, he says, Dad, if I blink, and half the times I don't even know what he's talking about. I swear to God. It's the truth. He says, Dad, if I blink my eyes, I'm behind time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
More about your brother. Obviously, he was a superintendent. He was a teacher, principal. What do you think, about how he impacted the Lynbrook community most? If you had to pick a specific thing.
Well, to name the street after him says a lot.
Yes, I mean, of course. And we all know we all know his name now, all these years later,
No, I
which just
know.
shows the impact.
It's very funny because so many times I forgot where I was. Wait, where was it? Oh, it was the night of the arts. And a family came up to me and said to me, it's always so good to hear you speaking about your brother. And I'll never forget, when our son first started school, I think it was in kindergarten or first grade, and he had special needs, and your brother said, "Don't worry, anything you need, I will be there," and they'll never says I'll never forget that. I don't even know who the people are, but they I was just touched by that. But from time to time, I always hear those kinds of stories. He came to visit my son while he was in the hospital, or things like that. I mean, I did very similar things in the city system, but it was not.
Yeah.
The city is very different from
The Lynbrook
a community.
yes.
Yeah, it truly is. But I always hear that so many times where he gave of himself, where he did not necessarily have to. And it's always nice when you do something that you really don't have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And expect nothing in return.
Exactly. Yeah.
You do it because that's who you are.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
Beautiful.
Yeah. As it says in the book, there's more joy in giving than receiving. And it really is the truth.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
couldn't agree more.
100%.
It's a blessing. It really is a blessing.
Yes.
Just to talk a little bit about the Lynbrook community, what first brought you to Lynbrook?
Well, how do I do this now? Okay, my brother was very, very Catholic school. His entire education was Catholic school, colleges as well, except when he went to NYU.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was always very strong on that. And then when he first came to Lynbrook as a teacher, a chem teacher, and he was really enthralled about the community. And we were living in Brooklyn at the time, a very Italian household, two-family.
Yeah.
We lived upstairs, downstairs, whatever. And we have the same thing over here. But after he was here about 2-3 years, he says, moving from Brooklyn, he said, we have to do Lynbrook, USA. That's what I heard, Lynbrook, USA.
Yes.
All right, whatever. And then we, and people that he knew within the community from the school, basically, had the opportunity, the house that we're living in on First Street now, two-family brick house, they're very Italian again. So we moved there, but he was very, a big stronghold on Lynbrook school system. And so that was like 40 years ago. Dear God, you can't even believe it, yeah.
So yeah, as you said, it's been.
And that's the way the time flies.
Yeah. So what have you seen? Any specific changes in those 40 years, or is the community kind of the same in at least like its roots? Obviously, the technological changes and all that stuff.
Changes.
But yeah, what are
Life
specific changes you've seen?
Life changes, yeah. Well, there have been changes, but the community of Lynbrook itself, everything that I know of it, is basically still the same. There's still that strong community dedication amongst the staff members, the teachers, administration, and so on. And you see the excitement amongst the students too. That's why the other night when I was at the arts dinner, I said, there's a lot of divisiveness in the world today. No matter what you speak about, various topics, who feels this way, who feels that way, and there's such strong opinions where people no longer unite, rather than and you become on a divisive team. And I said that's where Lynbrook community is so different. Lynbrook schools is so different, where you feel that sense of community.
100%.
And I always felt that that's why Ninja Warriors, I love that show. Really.
It's amazing.
Because even though everybody's in competition, but they're there for each other, you just feel that. And that's the way I view Lynbrook School.
1,000%.
Yeah, and I mean, from day one, when we first started, my daughter Gina out there, she graduated way back from here. I even forgot what year that was. But, it's still the same, the excitement that she loves being here. She loves being here at this capacity.
Yeah.
So it's great.
That's incredible. now before it escapes my mind,
Sure.
I wanted to share the story. You mentioned one of your relatives being born in Sicily, Italy, and my great grandmother.
That was Daddy.
Yeah.
My father, yeah.
My great grandmother, who I was very lucky to have, I believe it was 8 years with. She was born in Sicily.
Sicily, wow.
And she came over here and met my great grandfather. And this story I have of them together, we used to go over, me, my mother, my father, my little sister, every single Sunday for lunch. It was just memories.
Ah.
Memories that I will never forget. No matter how many questions I have.
Absolutely.
He
Absolutely.
used to give
Right.
me a $20 bill folded in some way. I couldn't draw it for you, but in some way where if I saw it, I would remember it. And after he passed, everyone was it was such a scary time. Everyone was looking on how to move on and stuff like that. And everyone was busy around my house at home one night. And I was in the kitchen, and in my kitchen, you look down the stairs, and you can see the bottom of the basement floor. And I turned the light on to go downstairs, and there was a $20 bill folded exactly the same way.
Oh, man, you gave me chills.
Yeah,
There was
Oh, my
a
God.
$20 bill folded the exact way he used to hand them to me.
Oh, my God.
And I couldn't do anything but cry, and
Oh,
it was so powerful. And I just wanted to share that because I credit the man I am today and the man I am in the future to my great grandfather, my family in general, my great grandfather, my great grandmother.
Yeah.
It's something I will never forget about, and there's no words
It's
I can
phenomenal.
put for how appreciative I am of
That
how much time I got with them.
that's super. That really is super. You said something like I'm just thinking of my dad, my father. It's amazing. I better be careful what I say here. He came to this country. I have to get myself up in this.
Take your time.
Everybody from Europe wanted to come to the New World. I have to catch myself there.
You got it.
Crazy. He came here when he was 14 years old. Never saw his parents again. And looked upon America as like, oh, this is God's country. But, I mean, when the immigrants then came, there were no things of entitlement or giving this. You would, I don't know if you ever saw the movie Caprini. It showed a lot about Italian immigrants, and the same holds true for people who came from Ireland. The people from Ireland came here before the Italians did, but never saw his parents again, and always made the best of all the situations.
Yeah.
So happy and proud to be here, and never took anything for granted. So, you're too kind. Thanks, buddy. So, and these are the things that, that make you the person that you are. And you said something that was so beautiful and so relevant to the past. There was not a Sunday that we did not eat together.
Yeah.
I did counseling in the New York City prisons, and a lot of this counseling therapy, for families getting united, they said, well, a good idea is to have dinner at least twice a week. When I was a kid, we ate together every night.
Yeah.
That was therapeutic.
Yeah.
That was counseling right there. And so things that once were, that was so relevant, to growing up, the person you become and are, has so much to do with the way you were raised, in your experiences that you encountered as such. And, you don't see, it still exists, but not to the same degree by no means.
I completely agree.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even for holidays, sometimes it's so difficult for people to come together. You know.
Yeah.
Completely.
That was a good point that
Good
you
story.
brought out, but you
Hey,
messed
maybe
me.
we need to get
You
more
messed me
try.
up. No, but that's it's real. It's real, and
It
it's
is.
life. And that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean these times, the times with your family are limited, and this just
Yeah.
you have to enjoy every moment that you can get.
Sports.
Yep.
Don't get me going on sports,
Oh my
man.
God. Every second.
Mother's Day, Father's Day. I mean, it's insanity. It's just crazy. But it's all good stuff, actually. It
Yes.
is. Yeah. All right. You did a good one there.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I guess more reflecting back on your life, what advice would you give to young people just trying to find their passion in the world and make their mark on the world?
Oh, boy. You have to know who you are. You have to be thankful for what you have. You know, there's so much focus that's always, directed to what I don't have, what I think I need, as compared to what I already have. And there's so much that's taken for granted. I mean, I've been around the block in so many different instances with experiences with youngsters and so on, and dealing with youngsters that that have brain damage or emotionally disturbed or Down syndrome or autistic, but for someone to be able to get up out of bed and to be able to go into the bathroom yourself, to wash up, take a shower, brush your teeth, pick up your books, eat breakfast on your own, just to be able to walk, to see, to hear, just natural things that we take for granted every day. And you just can't assume that, well, everybody else does. But there are a lot of people that don't have these graces, these blessings.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when you watch the Shriners or the St. Jude's Hospital, like situations like that, and then just to be in an environment such as this, where there's so much that you could learn from, experience, and being with people better than yourself, perhaps. But we just seem to focus on the negativities, the differences, and I always say people are more alike than different. I mean, if you bleed, if person from India or Africa, Japan bleed, we all bleed red
Same
blood.
blood. Yep.
Yep.
And but just to be determined, directed, have goals set for yourself. Think positive, and of course, I mean, the element of God is always present, without my even saying that, and that makes a big, big difference.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a quote. I'm paraphrasing it, but it was like, your everyday life is what millions of people dream of. So, you have to what you take for granted every day is what maybe someone in Africa or whatever is just dreaming that they could have for one day. So you can't take things for granted.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
As I said before, you want something done, give it to a busy person, because if you give it to a person that has a lot of time on their hand, they wouldn't even know what to do first.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just the way it is. Like for me, I have like 3 other things that I have to do as soon as I leave here. But that's all good stuff.
Yeah.
That's all good stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we're blessed. We're
Yes,
good.
we are very lucky.
And you're so fortunate to have, I really mean it. You have educators surrounding you that really, really care.
Yeah. I mean,
Makes a big difference.
we're in a great place. Absolutely.
No, it does. Lynbrook to me is another private school setting.
Yeah.
Where everybody really cares.
100%. Yeah.
And just to recap on what you just said, all it takes is a change in.
Make sure you ask me the right thing there. Don't stir me up again.
All it changed is a shift in perspective. That's it. To not overlook the things that we have every single day, to appreciate everyone around you, to appreciate the ability to conversate and share ideas, and all it changes is a shift in perspective that many people think they can't understand or comprehend, and meanwhile they can.
Yeah. There's a lot of ways to give of yourself, and sometimes you just have to turn on certain switches in your head. And in the process, when you do that and you give to someone, and necessarily it doesn't have to be like donations or things, just giving of yourself, just a smile on your face, or just show a little compassion when you really didn't even have to. Things of that sort, and that just makes you a better person, and you feel better about yourself. As I said before, there's more joy in giving than receiving. It's always nice when you receive, a few extra bucks.
Not
too.
complaining about it.
Of course.
But you know exactly
Absolutely.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sharing, like the scholarships, that's a giving. And that makes us
And it makes you feel great, I assume.
definitely great. Yeah.
It's definitely,
Really does.
it's definitely amazing. So yeah, as you said, you have a couple things to get to, so we don't want to hold you for too long. But
I'm good.
Is there anything else that you would like to share about you, your brother, your journey, the Lynbrook community, your faith, anything else, music that we spoke about that you think we didn't hit the points yet?
We pretty much covered all bases. I always feel you just have to try to be a good person. I can just try to be helpful to others. And that's not too easy these days because we're in such a competitive world out there. But even just doing the little things, Mother Teresa, actually the church canonized her, so it's Saint Mother Teresa of Calcutta. But Mother Teresa says, you don't have to worry about doing big things for God. Do little things with great love.
Absolutely.
That goes across the board.
Yeah.
That's a blanket statement,
Yep.
And that's pretty much the way we lived.
That's
Well, unlike this conversation, I'm very grateful to have sat here with you today. We've had such great conversations,
Me
and
too.
and I can do nothing but thank you because everything you've said today is applicable everywhere in life.
Amen.
Like you just said, it's a blanket statement. It's
Thank
applicable
you.
everywhere. The golden rule: treat people the way that you want to be treated, whether they treat
Absolutely.
you that way or not.
Yeah, that's hard. That's
Very
hard.
hard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very
To turn
difficult.
the other cheek, so to speak.
Yes,
But that is hard.
exactly.
Yeah, but that's well, I felt honored when Ben asked me, if I consider it. Of course, these are great opportunities, and the more you could, share the light, so to speak, the better.
Yeah.
And we need that.
I mean, absolutely.
That's good.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, God
thank
bless you
you.
guys.
Yeah, I mean-
Fantastic. I'm really super impressed.
Yes.
You're the best.
Yes.
We can do nothing more but thank you for your time.
Well,
We
And
appreciate
yeah.
it.
we got it, man.
And thank you for continuing to share your brother's legacy. It's
Oh,
really
yeah.
amazing. It's
Santo or Santo.
yes.
Well, you know what Santo means? Holy.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode of Owlcast with Mr. Al Barbarino, your host, Cooper Cords and Mason Cofer. See you next time.